And Khang said, I had an epiphany. And, you go through this, you're getting ready for the draft, and you're preparing, and you just said yesterday, I think this is what's going on. And what is it?
The Lions have to move out of the number 6 spot, whether it's up to 3 or back to wherever. I don't think you can stay there, especially if Jalen Carter is off your board. Now, I have no idea if Jalen Carter is on their board still or off, but there are some red flags we can all agree on, right? And they'll have to do their due diligence and find out personal interview, personal workout, see where he's at, whether they believe him, whether they trust him. But for what I know about this coaching staff, you have to work hard. You have to love the game of football. If he doesn't show them that and he's off their board, the next guy you would think is Tyree Wilson. And we've done our mock drafts, and I've been on the Tyree Wilson bandwagon the last mock draft. But inside, I'm going to be honest. My worry with Tyree Wilson is he's a taller Trey Flowers, a guy who sets the edge, is a nice player, but nowhere worth the 6th overall pick, because at the 6th overall pick, I want a possible game changer. I need that ceiling at least. And his ceiling might not be that high. And so with that being said, I don't want to be stuck at 6. I just have this fear that if things don't fall right and Jalen Carter is off the board, what do? To me, you go up and get Will Anderson or Anthony Richardson, or you move back and get more draft capital and make a pick that, where the value makes more sense. So my epiphany is get the hell out of 6.
So it's funny because Dave Burkett wrote yesterday, working on my post-free agent mock draft, it's hard to find the right fit for the Lions if Will Anderson and Wilson go high and the Lions are out on Jalen Carter. Again, if the Lions are out on Jalen Carter. Cornerback, offensive line, roster's so much better than in years past. Best player available won't fill a huge area of need. So then Burkett comes out with his mock today, and at 6, well, first, here's what he has happening before the Lions pick. 1, Carolina, Bryce Young. 2, Houston, Anthony Richardson. 3, Arizona, Will Anderson. 4, Indianapolis, C.J. Stroud. 5, Seattle, Tyree Wilson. So there's Jalen Carter, and here's what Dave Burkett leaves. This leaves the Lions with a Carter decision. I had one scout tell me last week Carter is the best player and biggest enigma in this year's draft. He's also the best fit for the Lions team from a talent meets need perspective. The Lions will do plenty of homework on Carter between now and April 27th, but I have them passing on the big defensive tackle for now. Instead, I give them the best offensive lineman in the draft. Skoronski could start a guard this season with an eye perhaps on moving to tackle if Taylor Decker, 29, ever ages his way out of town. I mean, so, Dave's having problems putting together a mock that makes the most sense, but that doesn't mean anything. The board doesn't always fall where you have the obvious, this is what we're going to do. We talked about the trade proposal Mel had from Indianapolis to go from 4 to 3, which was a 2nd and a 3rd. If Detroit had to give up both 2nd-round picks to go from 6 to 3 and secure Will Anderson, would you do it?
I probably would, yeah.
The way free agency is gone, if you think Will Anderson is the game wrecker off the edge that teams covet, even though you've already invested and have some good young players there, you're going for the scary pass rush.
You're going for 3rd down where you could line up Will Anderson, Aiden Hutchinson, James Houston, and
Pascal.
John Kaminsky. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Will Anderson's like the athletic freak, and Aiden Hutchinson is like the RoboCop of pass rushers. I don't know what you do if Anderson lives up to the hype.
Well, this is what, really good teams we've seen in the past have 2 really good pass rushers. Good God, that's such an advantage to have. Because usually with a good pass rusher, you're moving them from one side to the other side, and you're trying to avoid that matchup with the other team's better tackle. Pick your poison here. How are you going to double team? Because you can't double team 2 guys like that.